Bismillah. So, as part of the fiqh of death, a very important aspect is the burial of the Muslims in the Muslim lands and then how we adapt in the non-Muslim lands with all of the local restrictions, civil restrictions from different authorities. Different countries have different systems as well. But here's a really nice diagram. Obviously, in the class, we will cover the concept of the lahad, which is basically the L shape. And L shape, what we mean by that is that the body is lowered in, down, and then into a shelf. This is the sunnah. And I want you to imagine that the normal grave is just a shaq, which is just a straight drop 6 foot down. Yeah? So you just dig a hole, and you put a body at the bottom on its back, and that's the end of it, right? Or in a coffin, and that's the end of it. But in a lahad, the body is brought down, and then there's a shelf inside, little kind of cutout, into which the body is placed on its back and then flipped up. Right now, this we will speak about a lot in the class, right? And we'll also go to actual graves as well. And you'll see in the structure of a grave where the cut would be. But these set of models do a fantastic job. So have a look at this, all right? So there are a number of stages that are being explained here. So if you look at this first stage, right? It's obviously it's a cutout, so you have to imagine that it's only like just the width of a grave. So they've cut down, and as I said, that's the shape that is now like that. All right, so this is the Qibla direction. So you can see that they're bringing the dead body, okay? They're bringing the janazah. Remember, as you learn in the class, the word janazah applies both to the deceased as well as the prayer that's offered for them. So the janazah is being brought on the pier, as you can see, and the thing has been made, the grave has already been made. The lahad is already ready. So you've got that shape. That shape is like that. So now what happens? The body is brought in. The sunnah is to go head first. And so the head first has been brought in. That's in the second part. You can see them lowering it. We normally have two people that go into the grave. Again, this is in the Muslim lands. And then once the body has been brought down, as you can see in the third, it's on its back. We've now pushed it towards the shelf. So that cutout that you can see in the first part, we've now put it closer to the shelf. And as you can see, what's happening here is that one or two of them will now flip the body up onto its right hand shoulder. So you can now see that the body has been flipped up, and now the person is facing in towards the Qibla, and he's airtight. That's really important, right? There's no earth that's actually all on his body. That doesn't happen because the chamber is bigger than the body and deeper than the body. And so that body gets kind of pushed in, it goes onto, and you can put a little something to basically stop it falling backwards as well. And you can just see that they're preparing this dried clay Liban is called, those bricks that are heated only by natural sun, not in a kiln, not in an oven. And what they do with that is that after they've pushed the body into the cave, the alcove or shelf or the lahad part, then they seal that with the Liban. So you can see the little blocks being sealed. And now the last one gives you the perfect example. It's now sealed. Inside is like an air chamber, and then all of the earth that came out will now go back in again. So you can see them all putting the earth back in, and that will then eventually lead to, as you can see, the top part, the graves having that little mound. You see, that mound represents that extra amount that the body is displaced. And so therefore, this is the perfect Islamic burial. Then you can see that they are then just surrounding the grave, mentioning a few words, a reminder, and also making the dua. Allahumma ghafir lahum wa thabbithum. The Prophet ﷺ said, ask for your brother forgiveness and steadfastness. This is a really nice summary. Obviously, in the class, we'll go into a lot more detail, but as a summary, this is something which is great, explaining how the proper Muslim burial happens in the Muslim lands.